Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cecil Young. You know, I've been showing you this show here for about 2.5 years, trying to highlight my civil rights being violated by black and whites, okay? And I say myself, it's not about black and white, it's about right and wrong. And I say that because here you see here contaminated dirt pile that I complained about that kids were playing on at the city health department, bringing this contamination dirt pile into their homes, knowing that it could possibly cause cancer and other types of diseases that they could never probably recover from. Nevertheless, I was basically terminated because I spoke out about these issues that the health inspectors were telling me about that was over there for months and months, and nothing was being done about it. So I spoke out about it after being with the city for 27.5 years, all right, which ended up costing them $250,000 to remove these contaminated dirt piles. They ended up firing me, okay, because of that. It harassed me to a point where I ended up getting fired. You see here, I've always spoke out about issues. Here you see, put more police in public housing projects. You hear me talk about housing authority woes. What was I talking about housing authority woes? About contaminated raw sewage going into the basement apartments of P.T. Barnum housing project where I grew up in, where the basements was always flooded with mice and all the above because the incinerators were in the buildings, and so the trash was being brung down into the basement, so the mice would feed off of that, okay? And when people would get their toilets unclogged or their sinks unclogged, the sewage would be let out into a trash can, and would end up going onto the floor. You know, the people just died not too long ago, the movie star and his wife, and they said it was because of mouse droppings, mouse dust that was set in a warm place, contagious place that could probably build up. Can you imagine raw sewage being dumped out, let into the basement every day, 7 days a week, because the sewage is being backed up because people put Pampers and other things in there that cause it to happen. But to let it go onto a floor where you know people are going in and out of there to turn the lights on when your power goes out, and they walking that back into that person's house to turn their lights on because they might have blew a fuse, bringing that kind of contamination into their house from mouse droppings that you found out now could kill someone. Shame on the city of Bridgeport to want to terminate me for that. And what really troubled me is that being with the city for 27.5 years, you would think that if I got sick, he would allow me sick time out of work. You have a letter here from my doctor, Dr. Albert Walters, saying that I need to be out. Need to be out, why? Because I was put up under so much pressure that it caused me so much pain, so much agony, so much depression that it caused me to have the anxiety attacks to a point where I really just could not afford to go to work because I feared that I would lose my temper and do something I would regret. So I stayed out of work, intentionally asking Dr. Walters to try to get me some special help because I needed some more help other than what he was giving me. So he referred me to Dr. Wainick, a clinical professional psychiatrist, okay, who has license, who's been in the business for years, who's been treating me now for 18 years for extreme anxiety. Why? Because when I asked for a medical leave relief again from Janet Finch, the Labor Department, all right, she denied my medical leave of absence, even though the doctor said I needed to be relieved from that job. Okay, on March 17th, she denied that medical leave request. Why? Because I complained about contaminated dirt piles? You have Dr. Walter's letter here saying point blank that he'd been treating me for several years. All right, and he said that he referred me to Dr. Wayne because it got too much for him to handle. Yet and still you had the labor board saying that I came in with literally straps of paper, okay, and that his signature was unillegible. That is almost that was not the doctor's signature. You see his name, Dr. Albert Walters. This is the way he writes. To add insult to injury, okay? To have Russell Liskoff write a letter to tell me that he has issue with someone suing the city of Bridgeport, all right? I had a right to sue the city of Bridgeport. They unjustly terminated me for speaking about contaminated dirt piles that our kids were playing on. So for the assistant city attorney at the time to tell me as an elected city sheriff for 16 years in the city of Bridgeport, that my job is no longer, okay, work will be coming from this office to me as a city sheriff, that I was duly elected to be a city sheriff, to tell me I can no longer get no work from them because I was out on the doctor's care and because, okay, he had issue with someone suing the city. Well, I have a right to sue the city. This is America. This is not Russia. This is the United States of America. This is not no communist states. This is the United States. And to have Jody Paul, Labor Relations, to sign off on that. Jody Paul, Labor Relations, to sign off on that. Knowing good and well I came to work. She knew I came to work. Here's a time card. Here's a check stub showing that they paid me. All right, from March 16th 2006. They paid me. Here's a check stub showing that they paid me. Yet still they ignored it. Why? Why would the Democratic Party treat me like I am and treat me like I said before? I was tired of being treated like I hated to use this word, but I'm going to use it because I want to make the point very clear. I said to the city council, after going there after 18 years, I'm tired of being treated like a nigga. I'm a black man. I wasn't calling any of the council members black or white or Puerto Rican, all right, a Jew. I wasn't calling them their names out of order. I was just saying I was tired of being treated like a black man. Especially when I did all of what I was supposed to do, which was what? I requested a medical leave request, 2027, 2006. I requested a medical leave absent from that job, all right, from 226 to 328 for a month. For what? Extreme anxiety. Extreme anxiety. And Dr. Evans is a doctor. She's a professional doctor. She knows the law. But because it was signed by a nurse, that wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. Any other nurse that would send a note to a doctor's office, they would accept that. So Dr. Walters got aggravated, so he sent another note saying that I am under his care. Here's his same signature. Well, Luke, this is the way he writes, Luke. You turn around here and disregard that. Why? Why would you disregard that? When in 2005, the same loop that was used in 2005 by Dr. Albert Walters, the same doctor, for a leg injury that I occurred in 2005 because I was putting out flyers around the city on behalf of the health department when they having a thing with the AIDS and all the above. I was out there doing all the above for the city of Bridgeport. Okay, Dr. Walters' signature was accepted. Shame on the city of Bridgeport, shame on the state of Connecticut to terminate me for not coming to work. When you see here, the letter says, because you have not returned to work after March 10, 2006, your position with the city of Bridgeport is hereby, thereby classified as unauthorized. Therefore, your position with the city is hereby terminated. Terminated. How do you terminate someone from not coming to work when you had proof from my supervisor, Ether, confirming it? That's Dr. Evans' supervisor, my supervisor, signed it saying that I came to work on March 6, 2010. She signed me in saying that I would be leaving at 10:30 because I plan on getting married, because the wife, the lady that I was with, that I've been with for 30 years, all right, was sick. Sick and tired of writing letters after letters after letters after letters. For 30 years, I wore her down to a point where she smoked herself to death. My blood is on her hands. My blood is on her hands. Why? Because I forced her to help her to continue helping me to fight for what they did to me. They violated my civil rights by telling me that I didn't come to work. When you have a time card here showing, it shows right here. On March 17, 2006, I came to work. And I said I was going for a colon exam. Colon exam, it says. In March 17th, I would be going for a colon exam. I came to work at 9 o'clock and left at 10:30 because I was supposed to work 3 hours that day. They had cut my hours down from 35 to 20 hours because I complained about these terminated pals. So I said, before you fire me, because they started using my age and all the other nitpicks to try to get me out of there, I said, Dr. Evans, don't fire me because of that. Let me at least be able to stay long enough to collect my pension, because I've been with the city for almost 20-something years. I needed 2 more years. So I ended up dropping the lawsuit I had against the city about other issues I complained about, and they agreed to allow me to stay with the city for the next 2 years, which I started working there, but until the health inspectors kept on telling me that I need to do something about them pals, and I said something, they did it to me. They fired me. They fired me. But before they fired me, I said to my wife, I said, baby, we need to get married, because if we don't get married, they're going to fire me, and I'm not going to be able to help you with the kind of insurance, the kind of doctor care you're going to need, so we need to get married. We got married. We got married in 2006. Here's proof that we got married by the judge of Connecticut, State Judge Paul Gannon, the mayor's brother, Joe Gannon's brother, the mayor of the city of Bridgeport. He married me and my wife at that time. Her name was Patricia Nickel. It became Patricia Young with my 11-year-old daughter at the time. Here's proof. On March 17th, they officially approved it. March 17, 2006, they approved the marriage certificate. They approved it in order for her to be able to receive the medical benefits and whatever else she might need to help me and to help her to deal with what she was going through. How dare you take someone like myself who's been with the city for 27 and a half years, never had a problem with attendance, never had a problem with issues pertaining to my job, terminate me after 27 and a half years, not even had a meeting. To this day, I haven't had a meeting with anybody, from the city or from the state, sitting down really correcting and talking about why this problem is not being dealt with. And when I finally was able to meet with the state folks, they went into a cover-up mode. How dare they go into a cover-up mode? Why would they go into a cover-up mode, knowing good and well that what they were doing was committing fraud? Look at this here. They committed fraud. Gerald Wayner, Mike Cohat, they committed fraud. Look at what they got paid. They had hearings. Why would they be allowed to have hearings on a medical benefits that they knew good and well that I had a right to continue my medical benefits when I got terminated as long as I filed the grievance? I filed the proper grievance right after I got fired, okay? And what makes me so mad, it took 2 years for them to finally pay the doctor bill. They allegedly so-called paid the doctor bill 2 years later, unbeknown to me. They ruled in my favor. They said the award was in my favor. Why wasn't I made aware of that? I wasn't fully aware of all of that, the fact that they had approved that, because no one gave me no official letter telling me that this was the case. I didn't get this letter until what? To when? Until when? Until I complained it to the state, okay? And what troubled me is that I asked the city of Bridgeport and I asked Attorney General Blumenthal, would he look into this? 2008, I've seen Blumenthal coming out of City Hall, and I asked him, Senator Blumenthal, what's the status of my complaint? He went up to, duh, you're the senator. You're the senator of the state of Connecticut. You say, duh? And they awarded me these benefits in 2008, unbeknown to me, and I went to you to ask you to see if they violated my civil rights by committing fraud. I showed you that they committed fraud, But yet and still, you got the labor board saying here, they call my doctor's note literally strips of paper, unillegible, okay? As if I'm just a nobody. And thank God for this Assistant Attorney General Mitchell, who had the same, at that time was the assistant to Attorney General Blumenthal. It was him who exposed what was going on, And now to have the Attorney General's tongue said he has no idea about anything pertaining to what I'm talking about. Shame on this Attorney General, who was a state senator not too long ago. He now is Attorney General of the state of Connecticut, and now he wants to say, I'm going to fight the president from what he's doing. I want to fight the president from what he's doing too. Because I don't think it's right that a lot of those folks are losing their jobs the way they're losing their job. They didn't have nothing to do with this misunderstanding and misuse of federal funds, state funds, and all the above. I have no problem with the president wanting to seek out corruption and wanting to correct these problems. But when you find an assistant attorney general like this man, Assistant Attorney General Mitchell, to prove that I was telling the truth all along, I was telling the truth all along. And the question is, here it is. 2008, Gerald Wayne and Mike Cohat, they approved this. They approved this. Why did they wait 2 years to approve this? My dental needs got so bad to a point where Dr. Trina was telling me I need $4,000 just to do with 2 of my teeth. Let's know the rest of them that they would treat me with from time to time, not because the city was paying them, because they wasn't paying them. They didn't pay them until 2008, 2 years later. So whatever little treatment I might have got from them at that time was because they liked me, they appreciated me, they respected my wife, they respected my daughter. So Dr. Trina did the best she could to help me as long as she could until she got to a point where she said, Cecil, I'm not getting paid. She needs to get paid. So I put pressure on them to get paid. And what troubles me is that these folks, Gerald Wayne and Mike Cohat, know the law. He's the chairman. Mike Cohat is the manager of this department. These are state labor board officials that are supposed to protect jobs, not take jobs. This was reported to them in 2009, fraud, a potential fraud. That's what I claimed them and accused them of committing fraud in 2009. And the Assistant Attorney General wrote that up to that effect. Assistant Attorney General showed them the evidence that this was fraud. But tongue can't find none of the information. Well, I say to you, go to YouTube, go to Soundview Media, request Cecil Young's profile about all this stuff I've been talking about, because everything I'm sitting here and showing you here today, I'm sending this to Trump, I'm sending this to Elon, and all of the above in Washington, D.C. to show them that in the state of Connecticut it's a shame and a disgrace that I can be treated like I said the N-word. What else am I to call it? If I were to call you a spicker or a cracker, what would you call that? Wrong. Because you're not that. You're American. You have a right to defend yourself. And to know that I took this to court, did everything right, and to be treated the way I've been treated, knowing that the state auditors gave their findings in 2010. The state of Connecticut orders, I do not control these offices. The state auditors, the Republican and the Democrat, gave their findings as to, was that fraud? I say it was fraud. If you are on the board and you know the procedures are that any employee has the right to continue their benefits as long as they file a grievance within a certain amount of time, they have a right to continue their benefits. I did that. Now I will have my assistant tell you that. She will give it to you in writing, okay, that I had a right to get my benefits. She will tell you what the award went in my favor as she go forward now. So I will let her give you that reflection for that moment. Are you ready?
Yes, this is the facts of the page 1 of the award. Cecil Young Grievant was employed by the city of Bridgeport for 27 and most recently as a security guard at this city health department. Grievant signed a waiver not to have NAGE/IBPO, the union, representation in this grievance and appeared before the panel without counsel or union representative. At issue in this grievance is whether grievant is entitled to a continuation of health benefits under Section 19.5 of the Collective Bargaining Agreement, or CBA, which provides health benefits under Section 19.1 and insurance under Section 19.2 shall continue to be provided for suspended employees throughout a period of suspension. Such health benefits and insurance shall continue to be provided for terminated employees who have filed the timely grievance of such termination under this agreement until a final decision on such grievance in arbitration or 6 months from the date of termination, whichever is sooner. Grievant left the employed of the city on March 20th, 2006, and the Section 19.5 6 months period expired on September 20th, 2006. I don't know if you want me to continue.
Yeah, you continue on. You
Okay.
finish that phrase.
The grievant was sent a letter dated March 10th, 2006, Exhibit 3, which states, in accordance with the city attendance policy, upon an unauthorized absence of 3 or more consecutive days, the employee will be deemed to have resigned from employment. You must return to work immediately, or you will be deemed to have voluntarily resigned your position as security guard with the city of Bridgeport. Grievant was terminated by the city due to his alleged failure to comply with the city's attendance policy, whereby he was absent for more than 3 consecutive days without authority and was deemed by the city to have resigned from employment.
Resigned from employment. Could you hear that? They said I resigned from my employment. What in the world would I be signing a time card showing that I came to work on the 16th, saying that I was going for a colon exam on the 17th? How dare they sit there and lie like that? And for the state labor board, the commissioners who were appointed by the governor, by state senators, state legislators, shame on those folks who go before these commissions and give the impression that they give a damn. I'm saying to the governor of the state of Connecticut, what's his name, Malloy?
Choi.
What's the governor's name?
Oh,
Can't even think of his name right now.
Lamont.
Lamont. Shame on Governor Lamont. I seem to like my man. I think my man had a lot of potential about leading this state the way it should be led. And to have this here man here, Joe Owens, the editor of the Connecticut Post in 1975, talked about me as being a man of action. Huh? I ran for mayor in 1977, 75. Why? Because I care. Huh? Mike Daly, managing editor of the Connecticut Post, says what? His heart is still in the right place. Why? Because I care about people. I care about right and wrong. I don't care about the color of your skin or the content of your character. I care about right and wrong. And it's wrong to treat me like I am and treated me like I was a so-called nigger because I told the truth about fraud, because I showed the evidence of fraud being committed. And I'm saying to the city of Bridgeport, I will be speaking at the city council tonight again. Huh? I've been barred from speaking at the city council for 3 years now because of me said I was tired of being treated like a nigger. I'm a black man. I didn't say that lightly because I know how people of color feel about using the nigger word, but I have no big problem with that nigger word being used. You know why? Because they use it every day. It's not the nigger word, it's how you use the nigger word. If I call you a nigger, then you got a right to get mad at me if you call me a nigger. I'm going to respond to you like a nigger. But I'm a black man. Huh? The nigger word is not against no law, but yet and still, in order for me to speak at a city hall, where I pay taxes at my city for 30-something years, I own a home, pay taxes for 30-something years, I'm being told I could not speak at City Hall any longer if I use that so-called nigger word, which makes me feel like I've been treated like. And I tell you, the whole city council, majority of them are black and Puerto Rican, and 2 or 4 whites. And so it ain't about black and white, it's about right and wrong. So don't get it misunderstood that I'm trying to call anybody a nigger or a spick or any cracker. That ain't me. I never use those words. That's never been my cup of tea. But I'll be 75 in April. April 6th, I'll be 75. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be sending this show to the president. I'm going to be having this show be played for the next month or so because I want y'all to know that I mean business. I want someone to tell me, why wasn't I given my day in court? Now you got judges, okay, throwing my case out of court for what? Why did they throw my case out of court? Huh? Because my lawyer did not show up in court? My attorney, John Williams, didn't show up in court, so they threw my case out of court after all I've been doing for our people in our community? Huh? When I was 20 years old, I formed a cadet corps to patrol our projects, to help our neighborhoods feel safe, to give our kids a chance to go to school without being caught between gunplay. Huh? I got my car firebombed because I talked to community policing. Huh? You go to Green Homes, huh? In 1913, 1013, when I got attacked by the city council, was speaking out about raw sewage in the basement?
Yeah, 2013.
In 2013, you go to the website, Community Soundview Media, or YouTube, and you look up Cecil the Young, being attacked because I had the nerve to want to speak about raw sewage going into the basement where kids grow up and play inside and go inside there and take the asbestos off of the pipes. All that was going on as I was growing up in them projects. Huh? Huh? Communities activists, 30 years. Employed with the city for 20-something years. Housing authority for almost 20-something, 30 years with the housing authority. I started off putting light bulbs in the hallway. Huh? Town committee member. Huh? I want you to know about this guy, Cecil the Young, that often folks talk about me. You don't know me. I did a talk show with Russ Knight on the Black Forum, talking about issues that relate to all people of color. Founder of the City of Bridgeport Workfare Program. Founder of the City of Bridgeport Community Policing Program. You go to Green Homes. What's the rate? Go to Green Homes apartment. Green Homes. Look up Green Homes on community policing with Cecil Young. You will see real community policing. We're talking to adults, not kids. So I got a little upset when I heard the mayor and News 12 get out there and give the impression the 2 little Spanish little kids at 5 or 7 years old with a police car riding up on them saying hi, like I'm officer friendly, and you call that community policing? Shame on you. And then you try to give the credit to another little girl who came from Cuba or some other place because she goes to the Boys and Girls Club in the North End. All right, that crime is down because of what she does. What did she do about community policing? You go to Green Homes and let me show you anybody that shows how to do community policing like I did. I'm not just talking to be talking. I can back up what I'm talking about. So don't just look at me as me bragging. I'm proud of what God has allowed me to do for our people and our community. Huh? I was an aide to Mayor Tom Busey. I wasn't getting paid for that. Huh? I was an aide to Senator Sal DiPiano. I wasn't getting paid for that. I was an aide to State Rep Joe Lugo. I wasn't getting paid to that. Yes, I went to Central High School and I asked, how did I get that far in Central High School? You tell me. I opened up the first community police post I thought was going to be opened up to do real community policing on the east end of Stratford Avenue. Huh? Community police post. We started back when we had our citizens committee, which I'll be playing some of the audio tapes of some of the meetings we had, to show you that shame on these so-called folks that so-called look like you and me that would turn their back and act like I didn't exist. It ain't about me, it's about we. And I'm saying to the mayor and I'm saying to the powers to be, crime is down, Bridgeport, Hartford, here and there. Yeah, why? Well, let's give the real reason. Don't give the reason is because of them two little kids that you talked to for that minute. Huh? Don't give the impression because of that one little girl, okay, that we don't know nothing about, that don't know nothing about our neighborhoods, that she made a big difference. That's why community policing is the way it is. That ain't, don't lie to our people like that. And that's why when I heard today on the news that the president is talking about taking money from our communities but giving us less police protection, and you are giving the impression that little girls from different neighborhoods coming to our neighborhoods and the reason why crime is down because of them, shame on you. That's what the president is talking about, a misuse of funds. Show me real community policing, and I'll sit down and I'll shut up. I can't even get on a board or I offered voluntarily patrol or doing community policing with the mayor. Why? They don't want to respond to me. Why? Because of me talking about what they did to me and my family? Shame on them. You ain't heard nothing yet. The best is still yet to come. Huh? I may turn into a newscaster instead of just talking about me and we. You talking about who you think you're going to shut up. You ain't heard nothing yet. The best is yet to come. I look forward to hearing from you. Is there anything else I had to read, baby? I think that's enough. Thank you and God bless you.